my valve stem broke off, and the tire lost air so fast, like it deflated in less than 30 seconds. So I'll show you how I put air back into the tire, even though a part of the stem snapped off. As you can see, the part that broke off is a chrome metal tire cap, and unfortunately, it is seized onto the threaded part of the stem, and it snapped as I tried to unscrew it. Here's a close-up of the cap stuck on the broken tip of the valve stem. I should have heated this up with a blow dryer first and then removed it, but I didn't, and it snapped. So this video should help those who are currently in a pickle or provide awareness when removing any stuck tire valve caps in the future. By the way, feel free and mention in the comments if you have any good ideas about this broken valve stem or your thoughts on this video. A quick like and subscribe is also much appreciated. Okay, so to better understand this broken valve stem problem, I'll quickly show screwing the tire pump onto a good valve stem. Looks good, no problem, and there's some extra thread left. Most importantly, it's on tight, creating a tight seal and not hitting the valve core, which I'll explain very soon. Now I'll grab the broken valve stem and show you actually on the car where you can easily see a pointy valve core tip sticking out. Now you can see I'm almost able to screw the tire pump nozzle onto the bad stem with its remaining thread. However, what's happening is I'm pushing on the valve core, which is a springy pin that sits inside the valve stem. Depressing this valve core is not good if you're trying to put air into the tire, which is exactly what you want to do when you have a flat tire, right? So again, when the valve core is pushed, more air comes out. This is why if you have a valve stem that broke off, even if there is still some extra thread left, using a tire pump will not help because air is escaping faster than the amount of air that can go into the tire because you are pressing against the valve stem core. Hopefully I gave a nice detailed explanation. Let me know if I did in the comments. Now it's time to be creative in order to get your tire inflated again. And it's easier than you may think because all you'll need is a tire inflator pump and a 4-way tire valve tool, which includes some valve cores. I'll put all tools and supplies used in the description below, and while you're checking that out, please hit the like button and subscribe. You'll be amazed how many useful videos you'll find on this channel, and it really helps me to make more insightful videos. Let's get started. First, familiarize yourself with the valve core, which is tiny, about the size of half my thumb. Now, you'll know why I earlier called it a pointy spring tip, which was inside the tire valve stem. It's because the stem moves when you push your finger on the tip of it. You might be able to see me moving it. You'll also notice a rectangular-like head on one end. That's so it fits on the valve tool. Next, grab the 4-way multi-valve tool. Specifically, look for the side that I guess would be considered a wrench. You'll see a small hole in the center. Now practice placing the valve core into the tool. The tiny core is held in loosely on this wrench. Now, if your valve stem has the core in it, like this, that is, it didn't snap off with the tire cap, then you're going to want to remove it. You're probably thinking that this would be counterintuitive, as more air will come out. I tried to put air in for about 15 minutes, and it barely ever went up. In fact, it eventually just stayed on a pitiful 5 psi of air. Remove the core using the valve tool. And remember, as stated earlier, when the nozzle presses against the core, you're releasing air anyway. And you're pressing on it because a part of the thread is gone. Once the core is removed, you won't have any pushback and can screw the nozzle on more to the valve stem threads. Now it feels tight, and I don't have to hold the nozzle anymore. And just let the tire inflator do its thing and fill up the tire with air. While I'm waiting for this tire to fill up to about 5 or 10 psi over the rated tire pressure, make sure you have your valve tool nearby and your tiny core in hand, because once the air pump is turned off and the nozzle is unscrewed, you're going to cover the broken valve stem with your thumb. As you will soon see, some air will come bursting out, which is fine, and this is where you need to be fast. Also, make sure you practice and know which side to put the core into the broken stem beforehand. You can now see me doing this in real time. Anyway, I just shoved the core into the broken valve stem as I moved my thumb out of the way. Here are some tips to keep in mind. You will feel air pressure against you, so make sure you are securely holding the core in constantly and keep your fingers on the core so it doesn't spit it out. Otherwise, you'll have to start over and put air back in the tire. Anyway, I grabbed the valve tool and started turning the core clockwise. Eventually, you won't feel any air coming out, and of course, it will feel tight. Now, in case you're wondering about putting a new tire cap on, keep in mind when you screw the cap on, you might be pushing on the valve core. So in my case, I did not put the cap on because it was definitely pressing against the core and you could hear the sound of air bleeding out. Once you're finished getting your tire inflated, try to get to the tire repair shop so you can get a new full-length valve stem or new TPMS put in. I have some other videos that show a teardown of the TPMS and or just replacing the valve stem while using your current TPMS. I'll put those videos in the description below, and if you found this video to be helpful, let me know in the comments. And please hit the like button and subscribe to check out the other great videos on this channel. Managing your tire pressure is important, and this video hopefully made you understand the importance of a valve core and to not panic if your valve stem breaks. Drive carefully, and thanks for watching.